Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So happy Friday. Look at where Bitcoin is right now, 63.56. And it hit as high as 64,000 recently. So where is Bitcoin going to go? Is it going to go to all-time highs soon? What does the metric say? Let's take a look at everything that's happened and what to expect. So, first of all, we know that yesterday was a fantastic day. We just had a big Fed pivot, right? 50 basis point cut. A lot of people thought that it would mean the markets would react negatively, like, oh, there'll be a lot of panic and so forth. But honestly, this is a good thing. And people are anticipating that there will be a lot more cuts. It could go and go and go and go because we are still very quite elevated and keep on going for a long time, right? So obviously tech benefited greatly. Right now the pre-market's a little bit red, but I have a feeling that it could change very quickly. And something else that came out today that's very good is Bank of Japan decided to keep their interest rate steady, no more hikes. They're just in a weird situation versus all other countries. They're battling deflation, not inflation, and they're doing this because they need to balance out the currency. And of course, last time they did this, the carry trade problem crashed markets. And even their governor have said that they will continue to do so as long as it stabilizes it yet, right? But right, so with that, I'm a little flustered, and I lost my voice. Yes, but ultimately, we don't have to worry about right now today because there's not another rate hike, right? So this is also pretty good. But basically worldwide, everyone's like starting to cut. China is going to cut, but today they decided to leave their rate unchanged. Bank of England also pauses, but everyone is looking to cut. And this is because everyone's trying to deal with inflation. And this is because of overprinting and overspending and the debt situation and everything else. Of course, COVID, pandemic, all that stuff, right? Everyone is trying to figure out what to do to stop the bleeding at this point, right? Now that inflation have somehow come down, economies are doing worse, the money's going to start rolling. And because of this, it's looking bullish. And I kind of hinted that, yeah, I do believe that a 50 basis point cut is positive. And I do believe that September does not have to be a bad month, even though historically it is. And I do believe that October, November, December are going to be absolutely fantastic. And Standard Charter also believes that after this Fed rate cut and with continuous cuts and with the election around the corner, things are looking really good. Really, really good. And I do agree. A Standard Chartered CEO, he said he has like 35% of portfolio in Bitcoin, and he believes Bitcoin will go to 200, 250,000. I believe that too. I mean, you just put it all together, right? You just put it all together. Everything that I've been showing, everything I've been saying, right? Token 2049 is over. But I'm telling you, I've met so many people that have come up to me. They're not coming up to me and saying, "Hey, George, I love your alpha. I love that you pointed out this or that," or, what they all have said is, "You're the voice of reason. It's because of you I held since 2017 or 2021 or since 2023. And I love the fact that you're so consistent and you're almost like my crypto therapist," right? I love hearing that. I'm humbled by the experience. I get like every 5 minutes someone coming up to me. But yeah, that's truly what it comes down to is what I do is make you guys feel you're doing the right thing by holding and DCAing, right, over a long haul. Because when things get good, they get really, really good. And I believe we're at the cusp of that. I do. Right. So moving forward, I apologize for my voice. Talk about that a little bit. BlackRock also published a research paper. We know Larry Fink is very, very bullish on Bitcoin right now. Okay. Larry Fink, something clicked in his head, and that's why he has been buying and buying and buying so much Bitcoin. 22.5 billion worth. And if you look at everything, $57.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's a whole lot. That's only within 8 months. think about the next 8 months, the next 80 months, it's going to keep on increasing, right? Grayscale is the only one that's selling, but everyone else is increasing, and FOMO hasn't really hit yet. But once Bitcoin's about 100,000, 200,000, just wait. The FOMO will hit not only retail, but also institutional investors. That's going to be the difference this time around. We never really had institutional investors. They really weren't in the market, but they are now. And then tens of billions, and soon will be hundreds of billions, and soon trillions, right? A lot of people do not realize this. Bitcoin is scarce. It's really scarce. We have a set supply of 21 million, and inflation rate now is way, way low to 0.83%. In fact, it's much lower than the halving event. Okay. Much lower than the gold supply, right? Because of the halving events. And that is something that people don't realize. People think like, oh, there's unlimited amount of Bitcoin. There isn't. There isn't. Every time Sailor does a large purchase or BlackRock does a large purchase, it removes a large portion from the overall supply. That's why Bitcoin is the greatest asset we have, the best hedge, the best appreciating asset, right? And it's just a matter of time Bitcoin breaks out like all the others that we have seen, other precious metals like gold or markets like S&P 500. Every market goes through a stale time, but Bitcoin is the fastest moving. It breaks through and keeps on going, right? Sometimes it takes years, but that's way better than, say, waiting decades for gold or waiting decades for S&P 500, right? Bitcoin is absolutely the fastest. You just have to be patient, and there are so many good things happening. According to this, peak to peak, it's 48 months, every 4 years, right? And we're projecting, even with diminishing returns, Bitcoin should be around 200, 260,000 by the end of this cycle, which, according to this, will be around the September, October timeframe. Okay. I honestly think that is very possible. I honestly think that we will break 100,000 by the end of this year, right? And here's another one that's showing that Bitcoin, you know, looking at all previous cycles, could get as high as 180,000 by the end of this cycle. That would be absolutely amazing, right? Doesn't matter. 180, 200, 250, 300. It's all amazing. It's just a matter of holding, right? Last two things I did see this. Solana is going to reveal another phone in 2025. I thought they had two, but Breakpoint is going on right now. I didn't get a chance to attend today. I had some issues to deal with. But tomorrow, I will go to Breakpoint, and here's a gaming device on top of Solana. There's just so many things going on in Solana. Really love the ecosystem.